Welcome everybody to Pocket Edition. Today I'm joined by Robbie and Count. Gentlemen, how are we?
Very, very tired.
I'm tired too. Yes, we're both tired.
Early, fine British morning, I think. Is that correct?
I mean, it's quite misty here, but okay.
That's pretty fine for a British morning though, right? Just kind of misty, as long as it's not raining.
Well,
Pretty standard, yeah. I would do
it
with
looks
some
like
rain,
it's
though.
going to rain.
I'll take some rain. Rain means not watering the garden. Rain is wonderful.
That's very true, and it washes your car. I mean, that's how I view rain here in Australia. Washes your car. Park your car on the
Don't
street.
remind me that my car needs washing. It really does.
Put it on the street quick.
Been
Do it straight off
weeks.
this episode. So what have we been up to, guys? Robbie, I'm not even going to ask you because I know you've been playing Destiny 2.
Okay.
Seriously though, how is
Aw.
Destiny 2? Is it floating your boat still?
Well, I mean, it's the same sort of thing as last time. I find that once you've had that burn, that initial holy shit 3 days straight playing, and all that starts to slowly wear down. It doesn't mean the game's not as good. It just means you really nailed it for everything it's got, and now there's very little things that you can do without waiting for the change. So just like with the first game, I think Tuesday's now Destiny Day.
Deja vu.
Well, yes and no. Destiny Day has a lot more going for it than Destiny Day did in the first one.
Oh, that's good. Count, what have you been up to, dude?
I have been playing a couple of games. I've been playing a lot of Heat Signature. I've also been playing Endless Space 2. Came out a while ago. It's a sequel to Endless Space, funnily enough. It's a 4X turn-based strategy. And it fixes everything that was wrong with the first one. It's really good. I like
Excellent.
it. But I'm liking Heat Signature more. It's a really good game.
That game looks phenomenal. I need to get
It's
that.
so good. It's just so good to play.
That's amazing. And for those that are listening, it's some kind of cross between Mr. Shifty and Hotline Miami with
But set in space.
set in space, and yeah, it's just intense. It looks unreal, so go check it out.
Oh yeah, it's so intense because if you get knocked out or caught while you're going through this ship, instead of it just killing you and going back to the start, they take you to the nearest airlock, they fling you out of the airlock, and then you have to remotely direct your pod to catch you before you either bleed out or go or die from lack of oxygen, depending on how you got caught. It is really intense. I've lost two characters to that.
Ooh.
And it's just a pain in the ass, and every character stays dead in that universe once they die. So that means, like, because they will have personal missions, and the personal mission goes away, and all their items go away, and you just have to start fresh with a new character in the same universe. But it's a pain in the ass, but it's amazing, and I love it. And you all need to go get it. And I'm going to be streaming it today as we're talking. And I also mentioned it in the GameCast release radar that I released on Sunday.
Plug.
Go check that out.
Anyway, Robbie, why don't you open us up for the topic of the day?
Yeah, no, I think that there's a little bit of an issue going on with consoles. I know, console peasant, send to godhood and all that stuff, but I can't help but notice that because of the teeny tiny difference of power that's going to be between the PS4 Pro and the upcoming clearly over the top Xbox One X has got just a few people a tiny bit riled and a little bit defensive. And by that I mean a lot of people are coming after me because, like, on all kinds of social media outlets, because they know I support Xbox, like, before PlayStation and Switch. And I've had a few colorful messages that I won't be sharing today regarding my status as an Xbox fanboy. Considering these are just strangers randomly messaging me because I support Xbox, it's a tiny
You know what's hilarious about this as well is that somebody that goes out of their way to call you a fanboy and send you death threats and criticize you for being a fanboy, the people that go out of their way to do that are clearly fanboys and they're defensive.
Yeah, a bit hypocritical.
Oh my god. Anyway, sorry, carry on, Robbie.
Oh no, it's quite all right. I'm just thinking, well, is this necessary? So just deciding to edit out, if you will, all of the lovely profanities and colorful suggestions that I've been given. I found one underlying thing, and that is the constant phrase, Xbox has no games. Now, I had to think about this one for a while because I thought, well, holy crap, I must be in some kind of coma then because I've got over 100 games that I thought I was playing on my Xbox. But if it has no games, this can't be possible. And then it occurred to me about 5 milliseconds later, oh no, what they mean is it has no exclusives, because the exclusives on Xbox for the past couple years or so have also been available on PC, which should surprise no one because they have their new PC Play Anywhere, buy it once, play it anywhere feature. And they have no reason to stop because it's obviously going to be quite successful. Okay, yeah, you bring numbers into it, PlayStation's doing quite well, but it doesn't make Xbox a poor console. I don't know any other field in business where 30 plus million units sold is a bad bit of business. So 60 plus million units is better. Okay, fine. PlayStation also had a considerable head start with some solid games, and obviously it had 1080p when Xbox had 900p, and my god was that an annoying 3 years of listening to fanboys, but I digress. Even on both sides, listening to my fellow Xbox players try and be like, well, PlayStation's a piece of shit. Ha ha ha. And I just can't really get on board with that either because I have a PlayStation. Anyone who's also following my channel knows that I'm currently playing Horizon on my channel, so they know I have one. I'm not just saying it to try and keep myself from being lynched.
Not in the closet.
No. I have to wonder, this seems a bit like a defensive mechanism. I read a comment on YouTube not long ago. It seems like Sony fans in particular are moving the goalposts a lot. Now, I had to think about that for, a millisecond, but yes, no, I concur. Because the standard when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox came out was resolution, resolution, resolution. 900p Battlefield 4 on PlayStation 4, 720p Battlefield 4 on Xbox One. Oh my god, that's an amazing difference of resolution. And it just went from there, didn't it? It was just a constant string of, oh my god, Xbox is so shit. And you can imagine that that's never really bothered me, considering how having both consoles gives me the choice of which ones to play, and yet I still come back to Xbox. For me, I just find this particular argument about it has no games, because there was a brief period, people will not remember it because of all the propaganda going around today, but there was a brief period during the console launches where Xbox had the better exclusives. Oh yes, PlayStation had the better resolutions, but they were mostly boasting about the power of Killzone.
It was basically the first year.
Well, exactly, and Killzone Shadowfall, their big flagship opener,
compared
the one that everyone saw. Well, kind of. Titanfall came out a bit after that. It was more Rise versus Shadowfall, and for me, it was a case of beautiful graphics all round, but that wasn't good enough for some people. They had to have better graphics, so I thought, okay, whatever. So, but at that time, I personally felt Xbox One was trying harder with the exclusives. I mean, the Halo collection came out. That was an amazing bit of value. Okay, it had a few problems, but it runs pretty well now. And I just feel like, okay, so back then it was whoever has the best exclusives. It didn't matter. It was all about power. Power, 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 resolution, resolution. And so when it slowly became a little more even, when Xbox started to consistently hit not quite as nice of a 900p as PlayStation, or even in some cases a 1080p, same as PlayStation, PlayStation obviously has that bit of graphical advantage, which is fine. I've accepted that. Everyone should accept that. It's a fact. There's no reason to flip out over that. But it still meant that it became harder than ever to tell the difference between some versions of the game. You had to really get some hardcore enthusiasts for dissecting games, such as Digital Foundry, on board to go through and say, right, this line of pixels is straight, this one is wonky, to compare the two games, which, again, is fine. It's what they do. I don't blame them for that. But that's how small the margins were. But it was at that point that PlayStation then went on a bit of a hot streak. and got their exclusives pumping, got Horizon out and all other sorts of things. And they've been on a bit of a hot streak of exclusives. And then that this time, Project Scorpio was announced by Microsoft. And it was going to be, at the time, rumored to be like 12 teraflops and unstoppable power and rah, rah, rah. And of course, it was revealed then that it was actually going to be 6 teraflops, which for a console is still, whew, wow. It's a hardcore gaming console. It truly is. But the goalposts moved. As soon as this was announced, it became Xbox has no games. It doesn't have the exclusives. Sony has the exclusives, and I kid you not, I started to see the posts, well, resolution doesn't matter. Xbox fanboys are hypocrites if they think it does. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's a double-edged sword if ever I heard one. Surely you're hypocrites for changing your stance. And it got me thinking, this is probably always going to be the way. So now if Xbox comes out with like a plethora of exclusive games that for some reason they just decide to oust their amazing Play Anywhere program and just come to Xbox, like 12 amazing must-have games. Okay, boom. And then the goalpost will move again. It will be all about which one sells better, because by that time they'll have a PlayStation 5, which is more powerful. And guess what will be the goalpost's like destination then? It will be, oh, the power again. And I think I've started to see the pattern here. I think that there is so much anti-Xbox in the air at the moment that there's nothing Microsoft can do that will shut up the haters, as it were. I've come to the conclusion that I think that this Xbox has no games is not a real thing. There aren't real people actually debating in the comments thinking, okay, yeah, no, Xbox has no exclusives. All you need is a powerful PC and a PlayStation 4. If they actually do think that, why are they going to every single pro Xbox One X video on YouTube? I shit you not. Every single one of them to copy and paste those comments. Every single one. That doesn't sound like someone who is like literally uninterested. That sounds like someone trying to spread the word, spread negativity. That's the sort of thing those people would do. And I've got to admit, it's starting to get to me a little bit that every morning I wake up, I've got more people telling me to do amazing things to myself. And it's all because Xbox is going to be the more powerful console. And that just blows my mind, because PlayStation, I make no secret of how I think they've gotten a bit complacent, which is why they rushed out the Pro without its 4K Blu-ray player, and they just rushed it out to the market to try and be the, like, oh wow, Xbox One is really in the dust now, because look at this, there's an even more powerful PlayStation, and it does 1440p. And of course now this is backfired, because now it's out, and it's going to be, well, unless you only play Sony exclusives, you're probably going to want to play third-party titles on an Xbox One in like native 4K or 1800p. Surely, if that is how you game, you're going to probably want the third-party titles to be a little more high standard. So the pros come out and kind of inadvertently handed advantage over to Microsoft.
Oh, I think I dropped.
No, I think he dropped.
He broke the internet count.
Yeah, I mean... For reference, that was about 20 minutes of us not saying a word.
Can you guys...
Oh, he's back.
Oh, I'm back? Am I back?
You broke the internet with that then.
Oh, wow. I guess I did. Okay, well, where did it cut off?
I have no fucking idea.
Oh, shit.
Count, do you want to jump in, dude?
Yeah, I think the argument is a bit like the whole console argument. This isn't a new thing. It's been going on for literally a decade or two now, because ever since it's been Sony and Xbox, or even when it was Sony and Nintendo, it's always been, X is better than Y. No, Y is better than X. That argument has been going on for years. It is absolutely nothing new, and it's not going to change. Like, every side is going to keep doing, as you say, they're just going to keep moving the goalposts when their main criticism gets proven false,
blown out of the water.
Yeah, so they're just going to keep going to the other thing instead, and that's what happens. I do see why, to a point, that they do it, because they want to feel like they've made the better purchase, so they're trying to validate themselves.
Exactly.
But it's not worth it.
No.
I mean, to me personally, in the current console market, I don't feel the need to own an Xbox One, but that's because I have a gaming PC and all of the decent games, like the decent exclusive games that I want to play, would be out on PC.
Exactly.
But that's just my experience as someone with a gaming PC. If you don't have a gaming PC, then there may well be quite a few games on Xbox One exclusively that you want to play. So, you know, it's an argument that's not always ring true. People, like the people who say, oh, get a gaming PC and a PS4. Yeah, because that's cheap. For a good gaming PC, you're looking at about at least 1,500 quid for a high-end one, if not more than that. It's not a cheap thing to do at all, and it's not feasible for it. Sometimes it's not even feasible for people to own more than one console.
Well, just interject there. One of the other things coming up from the PC crowd is that you could build equally as powerful a system for about $500. There's no point in an Xbox One X.
I think the Xbox One X is a very good value proposition.
You do get a lot of value for your money, yeah.
Yeah, I have a 1070 GPU in my desktop right now, and I believe that's the same card that's in the Xbox One X, or very close to it.
I think it's closer to a 1060.
Okay, so
like that, yeah.
Between the two, yeah. I mean, either way, you know, my card costs as much to buy as what an Xbox One X costs.
I'm gonna say, because I bought a 1080 when they first came out. I was the guy who spent like 550 quid or whatever.
Good lord, that better last you about 5 years.
Oh yeah, it'll last
definitely
me
will.
a fuck ton of time, which is great. That's what I wanted. That's why I spent a lot of money on it.
Drivers only get better. But, you know, having said that, I think the Xbox One X is of incredible value. It's still kind of in that kind of rough ballpark at a stretch where people are going to go buy it. You know, if they want to play on 4K TVs, if they want to count pixels, they're going to go buy it. In terms of the whole fanboy war, though, like you said, I think you're right. The goalposts are always going to change. And if you're in the lead, you know, leads are always going to be threatened.
Well, the person in first always has to look behind them.
You're always being hunted. So, of course, they're going to move the goalposts. And I think it's unfortunate, you know, this time you've been caught in the crosshairs of this whole freaking fanboy war. Touching on the argument of, you know, exclusivity and blah, 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 all that crap that they tossed your way as well. I think Xbox's exclusivity game is weaker. Not due to Play Anywhere either. I think it is just generally weaker. You know, we're on Forza 7, we're on Halo 6, we're on Gears of War 5. These IPs are stagnant.
I agree.
They're not going to bring in new crowds. I'm invested in Halo 6. I will get Halo 6, but it's not going to bring in any new fans or audiences.
I would hope not. Not at the 6. Not at the 6th installment.
I mean, I was tweeting about this the other day. Xbox do need to invest in new IPs. That's definitely an area they can improve upon. In terms of the whole Play Anywhere and Xbox not having any exclusives, I would disagree with what they have told you. I think they do have exclusives because you can't fucking play these games on a PlayStation. They're exclusives not to the Xbox, but they're exclusives to their ecosystem of systems.
Absolutely. What about console exclusivity? I mean, I know we've touched in the past on timed exclusives, but there's a couple of things that nobody talks about that were shown at E3 that look pretty interesting. Like I think it's called the Darwin Project. Looks a bit Hunger Games-esque. I'm quite looking forward to that.
I am too. No, Xbox, they do still have some hidden gems like Sea of Thieves. But I would argue that, much like Sunset Overdrive, they're not necessarily going to move systems.
No. But having played Sea of Thieves, I do think that's an experience, as I've said in the past, that everyone should get. And I'm a bit disappointed that that one is an exclusive. Take that, people telling me to kill myself.
Yes, we do not condone that.
No.
All right, guys, that is a wrap. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Pocket Edition. Be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. Please do not PM or chase after Fatal Shock. I think he's had enough of that. Yes. Be sure to, as always, rate, comment, and subscribe. And if you've liked any of us in particular, you can find our links down below. You can also find them on the GameCast channel, where you'll find a variety of gaming content in the form of Count's News, his new series, Release Radar. Be sure to check that out, where you unearth all the hidden gems. That'll be a weekly series, correct?
Yes.
Fabulous. Until the next episode of Pocket Edition, have a good one.